Tony D and Little Joan, a screenwriter's rant on Legend of Lake Hollow, a horror movie about some monsters that live in the woods and the beautiful people who slowly get murdered by them. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Heart in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 13 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. There's a lot going on in this trailer. It seems kind of long, and that's kind of a bad sign because I kept looking at the time going, oh, it's 2:29. Feels like it's been 5 minutes. The pacing is odd. The music is terrible and generic. Feels like a hotel movie. But that all being said, they're trying. They're trying to do a cool monster movie. So the premise is a group of friends go away in a cabin, of course. Isolation. They establish in the trailer they're not getting a good phone signal. Two best friends. They date each other's exes to make sure they're right. And one's getting engaged, and so like there's a lot of character stuff in here, which I kind of like. But everybody kind of just sounds the same. The deliveries are very, similar. But then there's this idea of swamp people, and they don't particularly have any great makeup, but they look like they've been put in Victorian garb and said, all right, walk out of the lake. So, apparently the swamp people, they're part of the legend of Lake Hollow. I don't think this is a real legend. I think this is made up for the movie. But the swamp people apparently run the show, and they may or may not be eating human beings. So slowly, the people who stay in the cabin realize that the swamp people are doing horrible things and maybe killing people. So, I mean, it doesn't look like a bad premise, but man, the music really kills it for me. Music is so like something you download off of YouTube. Like, it should be much darker. It should be, maybe in the beginning it's fine because the beginning's kind of light, but later it should be much darker. Like even in this shot, I mean, it's a dark scene. So, first act, bunch of friends go to a cabin. Yay, I'm getting engaged. Yay, hooray, let's take some pictures. Hey, what's in the background of that picture? That's kind of weird. I don't think in that one, but in another picture. There's weird stuff going on here. There's a weird caretaker. I live down the road, and I'm a weirdo. Just checking on you and asking a lot of questions. Because I'm paranoid of swamp people, but I won't tell you about that. No, I won't warn you about the swamp people because I don't want you to think I'm crazy, even though you already think I'm creepy. That kind of thing. And then they go back to, I don't know, having sex with each other and drinking coffee and looking on the internet, which I thought there wasn't a good signal. Anyhow, at some point, they walk out to another cabin, find it abandoned. People have been, I don't know, disappeared. They start uncovering more mystery. I don't know, probably one of their group disappears, which would institute it, like we can't leave until we find Cindy or whoever. They find this guy hurt. Maybe he was part of the other family that was in this cabin. And he's like worried, oh, please don't hurt me. But then here's the weird cult. I guess there's a legend behind it of the people of the swamp, and then they go in the water. I'm sure they're attacked there too. So they find bloody bones in the woods, and there's various scenes of screaming, and there's this. Are they undead, or is that one of their group who gets hit by an axe and then lives long enough with an axe in their head to collapse at the cabin or something? I don't know. Kind of hard to pinpoint the plot here. And there's this creepy guy. So that's, I mean, it's got cool elements. I just don't know if I can get behind the execution. I think this is a flashback to Indian times, maybe. I'm just not sure what the execution here is, but like I said, first act they would arrive at the cabin. Second act, weird stuff starts happening. It escalates all through the second act, and by the third act, they're fighting the swamp people. This would probably be midway through the movie. They're fighting the swamp people. They know who the enemy is, and they're just trying to escape and survive. And this is one of the swamp kids, I guess. I don't know. I'm a little on the fence. The music really put me off. It really did. It doesn't feel like horror movie music at all. Like in the beginning, I would have been okay with it, but if they had transitioned to something darker. I mean, it feels like a low budget horror movie, but shot in Canada. Not totally low budget, but like, you got $2 million. Just spend that, whatever you do. And then they spread that out evenly, and they get a bunch of handsome actors, and they make the movie, and it's just kind of by the numbers. It doesn't feel like they're really pushing the boundaries here, but I do appreciate that they tried to create some sort of lore for Lake Hollow. Legend of Lake Hollow. It sounds like it could be a real folktale. I'd be more into it if I knew it was real. Like it was based on a real folktale or based on a real legend or something like that. Then I'd be like, oh yeah, let me see what this is. But it doesn't feel real. It feels like it's a little sparse on the details. There should be way more details. I think they spend too much time in this trailer showing us the characters in the happy moments of the first act. Oh, I'm getting engaged. Oh, we're here at the cabin. Hooray. Oh, we date each other's exes. Like, who cares about any of that? I know, it gives me a little background on the characters, but I want a little background on this too, and I'm really not getting it. Other than there's swamp people, whatever that means. Let's read the write-up here. A group of friends at a remote lakeside cabin find themselves in a deadly nightmare when the trail cameras on the property reveal they are surrounded by more than just Mother Nature. Okay, feels like you're hiding the plot. I think you should promote the swamp people part of it. I think you should have promoted the legend aspect of it more. Even if it's a fake folktale for the movie, promote it, right? It gives it more validity. And I'm not liking the costumes on these swamp people. It doesn't feel like they live in a swamp. It just, yeah, it's not creepy. It's just odd that you're putting them in those clothes. Are they undead or what? Needed some more maybe snippets of dialogue hinting at what they're up against, I think. So I'm a bit on the fence. On the one hand, I like these kinds of movies. On the other hand, yeah, it's just not, the vibe isn't there. I'm not scared. I'm not, needed a little more. So would I watch it? I wouldn't pay for it, but if it was on one of my free streaming platforms, I'd check it out, I guess. I guess I need a couple of reviews. That would probably put me over. Oh, no, it's really good. Because this trailer is just really lackluster, man, in my view. Maybe you need to cut it down, spice it up a little bit with some jump cuts, something. I mean, this is a horror movie. The pacing is very calm for a horror movie. Too calm. I know, I complain about too many jump cuts. There's not enough of them in here, I say. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take, I say take it. I will be at the Granville Place tomorrow at 2:30 for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Then I'm hopping in the car and driving to One More Bar on 206 in Tabernacle, New Jersey for a little bit of Gator Weekend. Saturday, I'm supposed to do Gator Weekend at One More Bar, but it's probably going to rain, so heads up. But if it doesn't, I'll show up. And then on Sunday, I'll go back to one more bar in the morning, assuming no rain. And then I'm off to Zed's Brewery at 4 in Marlton. So it's going to be a big weekend. Hope to see you there. We'll see you